and Mars, Battle of the Sexes. Even though we haven't necessarily been battling as of late, we've been on the same page. So we're going to try to keep that energy
Yeah.
flowing. If you don't already know, my name is Janine, and this is my amazing co-host, Derrick.
Wagwan.
Wagwan, aka Clive, and I'm Claudette. So if y'all see us get into a like that should be a segment like Claudette versus Clive, like when shit gets really real.
Oh, that's it.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
put a fork in that so we can come back to
I
it.
like that. See, we always come up with different ideas for everything, and you're just catching this on the show.
Yep. How our brain works. But so we have a nice little discussion topic, I would say, for this week. Isn't it funny at how if you put something like a thought out into the universe, it's like everything you see is like related to that?
Yes.
It's so weird. Like even when I got my new car, I never saw a Chevy Trax on the road ever. I got my car now. I notice them everywhere.
Yeah.
It's so weird how that happens.
Same
But
thing with my sister's Buick Verano. So once she got that,
mhm,
I started seeing it everywhere, and it is like at least once a day now.
it's like where did all of this come from? But um, what we've been seeing a lot of on social media is kind of the battle of the sexes playing out in what role each person plays and you know I guess how things are being tried and changed a little bit. And I've been seeing, I don't know, how would you word that?
um,
The same.
I would word it the same way. I find it interesting though that the conversation of gender roles is coming up a lot lately.
Mhm.
When I thought as a society people were trying to move away from gender roles and just like, hey, let's just do XYZ. Like do what's
But,
best for your relationship.
but it also shows you how full of shit people are. Like everybody
Yeah.
talks about like wanting to be woke and wanting to be progressive and we don't want to, but at the end of the day, like a lot of people do like deep down hold on to a lot of the traditional things and the traditional roles that they saw growing up. So like it's all BS.
Do you and Jude have specific things that either of you do related to
I do
gender?
everything. No, um, I don't know. I think it was never really a conversation we had like, okay, you're gonna be in charge of X, Y, and Z.
Hmm.
I think traditionally, right, the man's role is supposed to be work provider. You do yard work. You fix fix the cars. You change light bulbs and stuff, right?
Hmm. Kill bugs.
Kill bugs. Women, we cook, we clean, we take care of the kids, etc. I think I've just kind of always been independent before I got with Jude, and I'm the oldest of three kids, so I was kind of like a third parent. So just naturally, I just kind of take care of things.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
Yes,
have you been paying attention to Kevin Samuels?
I've been paying attention to the fact that people wanted to cancel him.
Yes, I
Kind
I
of
and I respect anyone that hustles, but this guy I need for him to go. Um,
We should talk about it. Why do you feel like Kevin Samuels got to go?
because this whole this idea of uh high value man, high value women, that whole that label, um, he bases your value in what, like, how you look, how much money you earn, those
Can
different
we talk
things.
about this? Isn't he an image consultant?
I don't know what the hell he is.
I feel like I heard someone say, don't quote me, I didn't do my research for real, but I recently heard someone say that he's an image consultant. So that's where it starts. This man
Yeah.
is not a counselor, he's not a therapist, he's not, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're calling him for advice, like that's on you in
Hmm.
the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially knowing the energy that he brings when you call to get advice from him.
Yeah, I just I don't know because like with you speaking about you were independent before you got married, like that's something that I from what I've gathered with him he would consider to be low value. Women should depend on men, right? Like that's how he approaches things.
See, and this brings us to something else we were talking about off air, like what does independent mean to you? Like if somebody was to say, Derek, what do you define as an independent woman?
Independent one, I think that's a good question. I think that an independent woman is one that is able to that knows how to just go get it. Like she doesn't need a man to in order to go get it, right? Like, and I don't see that anything being wrong with that. I don't think it's a bad thing for a woman to be a go getter.
Mm.
I don't want my woman being someone that is just staying at the house expecting me to do everything just for her to all she does is cook and clean. That's not I like that's not a partnership to me.
Or if you understood that that's the arrangement y'all have. I actually have a post that I would like to read.
Okay,
Again, the universe just be bringing stuff.
that's how it works.
It was this morning actually. Shout out to my Sugarfoot Seffi for posting this, I believe. And now
Sugarfoot.
yeah, we call each other Sugarfoot. And yeah. Okay, so basically, now that I want to talk about it, it's not there. But it was basically saying like as a man, whatever role your wife is playing,
Hmm.
you have to understand that she's not going to be able to do other things. Like,
Yes.
um, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I can't find it now. That sucks. But basically, it was like, okay, if if you have a woman that works 40 plus hours a week, know that she's going to be tired and she's not going to be able to cook and clean. If
Hmm.
you have a woman that cooks and cleans, know that if you have a woman that's a stay at home mom, she's not going to have any money and she's going to depend on you for those things. Like you can't expect us to be able to do everything. And that's something I was talking about
Hmm.
a while ago too. I think that sometimes men have these unrealistic expectations of what a woman is supposed to do and what she can handle
Yeah.
because they've seen women do it without complaining for so long. So it's the norm. But you don't take
Yeah.
into account the fact that we're juggling so many things.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to say that's not even healthy. Like to expect someone to do so much all the time and keep it at a high level in terms of pace, like that's unrealistic. I like I'm okay. See, I don't know that I necessarily subscribe to all gender roles. There are certain things that I'm okay with doing, taking out the garbage, stuff like that, fixing up stuff around the house or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool, I'm fine with that. But I like to cook. You see what I'm saying? Not saying that I want to cook every day. Not saying I want to cook every meal,
But the
but
fact that you're not above it, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
some men that are like, oh, like I don't, like I just don't touch it, so because that's not what I'm supposed to do.
my dad told me when I was a kid that I was like, he was like, you're gonna have to learn how to cook because you're not guaranteed to be with a woman that knows how to cook. You're not guaranteed. Honestly, you're not even guaranteed to be married. So, like, you got to be able to survive on your own. So you need to learn how to cook, right? So I learned that from a young age. Also, I'm a germaphobe, so I clean now. So the idea that I gotta wait for a woman to clean my place for me, nah, bro, nah, that doesn't work.
And then like, who raised y'all? Like not y'all, but like
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Niggas.
nigga, what are you supposed to do if I had not shown that? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like could you function and live on your own without a woman being here? Like if
Yeah.
like you don't cook, you don't clean, you don't know how to do the basics,
Basic stuff.
then are you here because you need me to take care of you? Like, am I a second mom to you? Or
Yeah.
are you actually here because you want to be in relationship with me?
Right. And I think that's something that you have to establish from the beginning. Is a relationship a partnership or is it a hierarchy? And that's what people like Kevin Samuels is establishing or trying to establish with what he's the message he's spreading, a hierarchy. Yes, the man is the head of the family, right? Cool. You can talk about the hierarchy in that way, but I look at it more as a partnership.
Mm-hmm. It
My
should.
woman and I are going to go do XYZ. We have goals set up. We're going to do XYZ, and we need to figure out what we need to do to be able to reach our goals.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It's not about whether I'm up here and you do whatever the hell I say to do.
The submissive thing.
The
I want
submissive.
I want to revisit so when I was introduced to his clips, it was more so of like if you're coming into a relationship or going out into the dating pool with these expectations and with all these standards and the things you need and what you aren't going to put up with, make sure that you're equally yoked and you can check off all of these things for yourself as well. I think that there's been this move of like women feel like they should just be taken care of just off the strength because you want to listen to City Girls and Megan and shit. But but it's like, what are you bringing to the table? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I think that
yeah.
that is what I was gathering from him. But then it turns into, okay, I have to make content, and now I'm just gonna like tear y'all down.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, for what I've seen with him, is it seems as if not seems as he is tearing black women down. That's just what he's doing with what his message is. Now, anybody out there that's listening that you disagree, that's fine.
Put it,
Like we can,
put it in the comments.
yeah, put it in the comments. I would love to
Let's talk
discuss.
about it.
I don't see him doing anything to build or edify a black woman. He's comparing black women as saying you don't do this, but white women do, Asian women do. Like, come on now. That doesn't even that how is that helpful? How is that building up a black woman?
What are your thoughts on like what does it say about a man if he has this expectation of his woman to be, well, let's start here. What is your definition of a submissive woman?
See, I think the idea of submission is I think it's it has a negative connotation to it.
Uh-huh.
We're both supposed to be submissive in certain things, right? Like I can't lead every single thing. I need see the thing about a leader in general, you should know how to follow. You should learn how to follow first so you know how to lead
Mm-hmm.
because it allows you to know when you need to pull back and let someone else take the reins over certain things, right? It doesn't mean that you're less than because you have someone else that's taking the rein and the lead on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like if my woman is better at something than I am, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to let her do it, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like I have this big ego that no, a woman can't lead me in any way, shape, or form. I have to lead. Guess what? That leads to a lot of confusion and um now you got to go back and restart and do it again and it's wasting time. Like no, just let her lead where it's like it's knowing what it's really like. It's like a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
With wrestling, you're not in the ring all the time.
Yeah.
You're not in the ring all the time. You have your partner, Tag your partner in when you know it's time, like you need rest, and you let your partner take over and do XYZ.
Mm.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The goal is for us to win. I'm not
Yes,
competing with my partner. What the hell does that do? If I'm competing with my partner, all that does is slow me down because now I can't focus on what I need to focus on because I'm trying to put this fire out. You see what I'm saying? Like that's dumb as hell.
it is dumb. It's super dumb. I think a lot of men too like have this notion like submission is like my word is law and my word is final and how I feel about it is how you should feel too.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have this notion of just because I'm the man, you're supposed to bow down to me, and that's super ancient, and I'm not with that.
Yeah. But see, also, not everything works for everybody.
Yes,
Relationships are not cookie cutter like things. You can't. What works for you and Jude probably wouldn't work for me and my wife.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
What would work for me and my wife probably wouldn't work for you and Jude.
right. That's a fact.
Like we're all individuals.
It's a case by case
It's a case
type of
by case
situation.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this idea, like that's what's like. I'll listen to him. I'll watch some of his videos just so I can see what the hell he's talking about. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. He says that high value men only want size 4 woman.
That's that's extreme. That's extreme. But I do feel like a high value man, high value meaning he has it together, he has a career, he has established himself, he has some kind of stability financially and just in all areas.
Hmm.
He's not going to want a girl who is like still trying to figure it out or who doesn't have her things together or is just looking for a meal ticket so
Hmm.
to speak. And I mean, as far as looks go, we would be lying if we said that looks didn't matter.
Yes, that's the thing. Looks matter, but not everybody likes the same thing.
That's a fact. You like what you like,
I
so
I've
don't take
never
it
dated a
all.
size 4 woman.
Yeah.
Never.
In my life.
I, so I don't know. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, I'm not a high value man. I guess. I don't know what. I don't know. Far be it from me to say. There's not a lot of stuff that I understand with what he's talking about. Some things I agree with. There are certain things that I agree with what he's saying, but that is the minority of the stuff that he says. To be completely honest.
Do you feel that in a world of like independent women, because for the most part, like women kind of have we have had to evolve and become independent,
Hmm.
so to speak, like getting our degrees and getting our businesses and being able to become financially stable on our own, like that's a thing. Do
Hmm.
you feel like it's a trend that women are now, I guess, like talking down on men a little bit, or kind of like having this idea of like we don't need y'all, which we don't, but I feel like your man also doesn't want to hear that every day.
No, I I think that for men and women, because we men will say the same thing. Like, I don't need a woman for XYZ.
Yeah.
I think both. I think both come from a place of hurt. You're looking at men because in this light because you've dealt with a certain number of men that
Mm.
had treated you this way. So now you're applying maybe 3 guys that you've dealt with. You're applying their stupidity to all men.
And
And
what does that
same for
say?
men.
And and then what does that say if like if that's been a cycle, like you keep attracting the same kind of people or you're
Yeah.
giving time to the same type of ain't shit person? Like what does that say about you?
You haven't worked on yourself. You're
What
still
you mean
hurt.
for that?
So
Yeah.
like you're not healed from the things that hurt you. So because of that, and that's what you're focused on, you get what you attract. Like if you're going to attract, if you're going to uh, uh, focus on, I'm sorry, you're going to attract what you focus on. That's what I meant to say. You attract what you focus on.
Mm,
So if you're going to sit here and focus on the pain that you've dealt with for X amount of years with X amount of guys, X amount of women, and you're sitting here focusing on that, that's what you're going to continue to get.
mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to continue to get. And if you
Yeah.
focus on your healing, if you focus on actually working on yourself and getting better in those areas, yeah, you'll start to attract more people because you're putting out that type of energy. You
That's
know
a
what I'm
fact.
saying? So yeah, I like both men and women are hurt and uh put out different things, and that's why I think social media is actually really like annoying. we
Yeah.
have we have a bunch of people, men and women, that are gathered around other hurt men and women, and it's this whole group think thing going on. That's what I see with Kevin Samuels.
Who hurt you? Yeah.
Some black woman hurt this nigga down to the core, and now you have a ton of guys coming around him laughing at black women, calling black women black Big Shirley and all that. That's what you have.
You did call that woman Big Shirley.
That's
My
what you have.
goodness.
That's what you have. So it's a bunch of immature, hurt men that are going. And I know if I get any, if we get anybody that watches this that's a fan of Kevin Samuels, I know the vitriol that I'm going to receive on this. I'm fine with it. At Derrick underscore OTS, DERRICK,
Spelled the black way.
spelled the black way. Go ahead. Get at me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because I think that this is a thing that we're not willing to actually put ourselves in check
Mm.
because of our pride and ego. We've talked about this a couple times already, the pride and ego allows us to see things from a skewed perspective, and all of a sudden, that's how we treat other people from a skewed perspective.
Just a little anecdote. So I went to a courthouse to go get some records because I thought I was organized and I wasn't, and I lost a very important document. So I
Oh
went to
no.
to go get it. And then anyone who knows me knows like I am a morning person. I'm high energy all the time. So I walk in to the lady who's basically looking up records and printing out the records, etc. And I'm like, "Hello, good morning."
Hmm.
Nothing. Straight face, just kind of right. And so as she's looking up what I'm needing her to look up, Luther Vandross is playing in the background, right?
Hmm.
And she was like singing, and then she goes, "Love, love sucks." And I was like, "Oh, that's why you're upset. That's why you got this fucked up energy and can't smile and can't
Yep.
speak back to somebody
Yep.
when I'm high energy because you're dwelling in this negative space because somebody hurt you."
Yep. Yep. Some 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 guy named Richard broke her heart and
I don't
hurt
know if
her
his name
bad.
was Richard. Probably like Hey or
Oh, she was younger.
mm-hmm. And
Okay.
in like DeKalb County, you know what I mean?
Oh,
For those who
yeah,
know.
that's Devonte.
You know, the little background. But yeah, I think that that just speaks to like what you were saying. Like you're going to attract whatever you put out. So like you're walking around frowned face, negative, can't hardly smile or speak. A man who's toxic or who has behaviors like your old dude is gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I'm used to that, so I can kind of break down her barrier. a
Hmm.
little bit, you'll get into a relationship, and then it's a repeat of whatever you've been dealing with because
Hmm.
that's what you're attracting.
Yeah. And then you get into a relationship with these people and you treat them like crap. You expect them to do what you want them to do.
Mhm.
And then you get mad when they don't do what you want them to do.
In a relationship, right?
Hmm.
Like, of course, you're supposed to consider your partner's feelings, their thoughts, their opinions on a decision.
Right.
What are some things you feel like, this should be something that we discuss together and that we make a decision together about versus like, I'm not going to hold you. Like, this is on you.
Okay, so I think there are a few things that off rip can definitely affect your partner. If you're living together,
Mhm.
anything that has to do with your house, apartment, townhome, whatever it is, um, anything that you do with that, anything you do with your kids, uh, maybe if you have a shared account, which that's a whole different conversation. Um,
Oh, let's go there. How do you feel about joint accounts?
joint account. I think joint accounts are fine if you're talking about an account that you have that you create together
Uh-huh.
for bills, for living expenses in
So
terms
it
of
shouldn't just be
not
all money.
all the money. Nah, I want my wife to keep her, like I want her to keep her separate account. I keep
Mhm.
my separate account, and we make an account together. That's what we put our money into for bills, for kids, for whatever needs to be done. And then we have savings and stuff like that. We can
Mhm.
do that, but everyone should have their separate account. Everyone should have their separate account. Like I don't know. I like I think I think people think that when you get married, it's automatically like everything has to be one. I don't agree with that.
That's what it's supposed to be technically, supposedly. But I totally
Technically.
agree with you too. Like, I think because I told you, like, I've always been independent,
Hmm.
it is difficult sometimes. Not that I don't consider my husband's feelings or anything, and I don't consult with him about certain things,
Hmm.
but it is hard for me to just kind of give up everything and now we're just one moving force. Although I feel like we can incorporate that a little bit more because like I feel like we could win quicker together,
Yeah,
but to
which is
not
the
have
goal.
any type of individuality within the relationship, it can kind of become suffocating. At least that's what I foresee.
Yeah, see, I think people make the mistake of getting married and then losing their individualities. That's not happening. That's not happening. I like there are certain things that I like to do that I'm pretty sure when I get married, that's not gonna be something my wife's gonna want to do. I play 2K. I don't ever see not playing 2K.
That should be annoying, bro.
I watch basketball. I play Madden. I love watching football. Something like things like that might not be something that she would be into. Like maybe she'll go to a game with me, but not like sit down and like, hey, I'm gonna play as the Lakers. You play as the Celtics. Like let's see how this goes. Like
Yeah.
that the likelihood of that happening is slim to none, in my opinion.
Would you like that though? Because when I first started podcasting, like my first couple of episodes, I had Jude on, and I
Hmm.
appreciated him for that because Jude's not like a on camera, on air type person. He's very private, and he did it just off of the strength that this is something that I wanted to do, and I needed the support. So I appreciate him for that. But then
Yeah.
it was a point where I started to feel away because he wasn't like fully invested the way that I was.
Hmm.
But then I had to realize like podcasting is my thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And it's okay to have your thing. And when he finds his thing or he has his things,
Hmm.
I don't necessarily have to be full fledged into that either. Like we can
Hmm.
have our own side projects.
Yeah. I think I think I think people should do their own things. Like, yeah, would I like for my wife to be a part of some things I'm doing, like podcasting or whatever? Sure. Am I going to force her? No,
You think
no.
it would be easier if you did have somebody who did have the same interests and were into the same things as you, so you just kind of naturally just like tag teamed stuff?
I think there are certain things we would automatically like enjoy doing together, like shared interests. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of those, but not everything has to be a shared interest. I don't have to like. I'm not a big shopper in terms of like going to a store and loving to be in there for 3 4 hours. I can't go to a mall and do that. No,
Yeah,
no, no.
yeah.
Will I go? Eh, yeah, because that's something she likes to do.
Mhm.
I'll go, because that's something she enjoys and I enjoy her company. So sure, off rip. But am I going to do that every time?
Nah,
No, no,
absolutely not.
no. We can spend time doing other things together,
Right.
right? So yeah, I mean, I think it's just like finding that balance. I think people just don't have balance. I think that's the problem. People
Mhm.
like we're making this thing way too complicated. We're making this thing way too complicated, we overthink things way too much. Like women don't have to always like to do what you do. I don't men don't have to always like to do the things that you like to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have to be up under each other 24/7. In fact, that's unhealthy. You need a break.
I I'm still navigating that because I'm super clingy and like I do want to be up under you all the time.
Yeah.
But what is it? Distance makes the heart grow fonder or whatever that thing
Absence.
is.
Yeah.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So like because I
Hmm.
found like when I would leave for like a couple days, he was like texting me and like
Hmm.
low key like flirting. I'm like, you never act like this. Let me disappear a little more often. But that just yeah, you
Yeah.
you do need your individuality. You do need your space. You do need your own things. You don't have to do everything together all the time.
Yeah. I think whatever makes you come alive, you should do that. And your partner should support it.
As long as it's not
Period.
like blatantly disrespectful to your partner or to the
Yeah. 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 Yeah, let's say that within reason.
then too. I feel like we have this thing. I know women have this thing where we're like, oh, I like can fix him, or
Oh my
even if
god.
he was this way, like I am the special one. Like my pussy is fucking magical, and I'm gonna make him become this person that I want him to become.
Yep.
No, believe what they show you. Not to say like people can't evolve and grow and mature in different ways, but for the most part, like what you see is what you get.
That because initially, to be honest, it could be like a temporary fix because
A temporary. What do you like? What can?
so so if a woman says she could fix a man
Uh huh.
and make him do XYZ, she can get him to do XYZ for a moment.
Yeah,
It'll be a small amount of time, 3 months max. Then all of a sudden, nah.
because if that's not where his heart is, he's gonna revert back to who he actually is.
Yes, yes. So yes, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like believe people when they show you who they are.
Yes.
Like I think if you know who the person is at the core, I love it, love
Yeah.
it or hate it. Like is but believe it
Yes.
and work with it. If you can work with that, cool. But there is no such thing as going into a marriage and like marriage doesn't automatically make you a different person. Like it's like people think that all of a sudden that once you get engaged and then go through that whole process of planning the wedding and then getting married, like that'll make this person mature and become something that you want them to become. Nope, it's the
Nah.
same nigga in a tux.
Yeah. For sure.
That's
And then
it.
also understand like you in a relationship with somebody is a completely different role. I saw somewhere, I need to start taking screenshots so I can properly credit whoever is saying what they're saying. But I saw somewhere where there was like, oh, it was my homegirl Aisa. She was saying just because you're a good father, that doesn't make you a good husband, or just because you're a good parent,
Right.
that doesn't make you a good spouse. That's a completely different role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't feel like, oh, okay, this is the person I'm supposed to be with because they're really good with the kids, or this is the person I'm supposed to be with because like they're an awesome friend and I see them go over and beyond for their homies. Like that's not necessarily, maybe, but that's not necessarily how they're going to be with you in an intimate relationship.
Yeah. You can't apply like a snapshot to like the entire thing. Like you can't sit here and say that they do this in this instance. That's going to be how they are. That
Yeah.
that's so like naive. That's so childish to believe that. Like I've seen a lot of people that have done things even not in a romantic way. Just be this way, and I'm thinking, oh, that's okay. And
That's
then
a character trait that I like, that I feel like I could get with.
yeah, and then you watch them, and then all of a sudden they turn to this completely different thing than what you saw, and you're like, whoa, 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 hold up, what the hell? And they,
Weren't you just? But okay, this is
but nah, it's like people think that it's someone taking a mask off. It's not. They like it's not that they weren't showing you what they were. You just didn't believe it. The mask wasn't
and
on.
the mask wasn't on. You just saw them in a particular role.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's genuinely who they are
yeah,
in that particular role, in
yeah,
that particular.
yeah, yeah. So I think we just have to be honest. I think we're not honest with ourselves first and foremost. Um, let alone being honest with whoever we're in a relationship with. If you can't be honest with yourself, you're not gonna be honest with your partner.
At all.
Like, there's
I was
no
just
way.
I was just telling you off air how I've been calling myself a hookah junkie this whole time because like I smoke hookah a lot. Like obviously I blow clouds every podcast
Yeah,
episode. And I've been calling myself this all week. I was like, maybe I need to slow down because I'm noticing I'm smoking a lot more. As soon as my husband was like, you need to slow down, who are you to tell me? You know what I mean? So like, you also have to check yourself and not be so like defensive when your partner. This is a completely different topic, but it's
yes.
all tied in. But
No,
yeah,
it is.
like I think too, we live in this era of like instant gratification and we think that everything's supposed to be peachy keen. And when real life hits, like you're just not prepared to deal with the ups and downs that comes with a relationship, or you
Yeah.
get in a relationship for all the wrong reasons. Oh, I want to be with this person because they're popular, or I
Hmm.
want to be with this person because they are physically attractive or whatever. And then once you get with them, you're now insecure and you're trying to downplay all the reasons why you got with them in the first place because you know that that's going to attract other people.
Yeah, because you're doing like it's this whole like we talked about before, like this romanticized illusion of
Mm-hmm.
a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
What we see on TV, what we see in movies, this romanticized microwave thought process of how relationships are.
Yes.
Like that's not how it is.
At all.
Don't you find it funny how in like a movie someone can sit here like at the beginning of the movie they don't know each other, halfway through you can see that there's an interest, and by the end they're talking about they're in love, like, and a timeline could be like 3 days.
They're not taking into account what's happening in between these scenes either. Like, and I was like that. Like, I grew up watching a lot of rom-coms and like fairy tales and thinking like love was this amazing thing, and not that love, not that you shouldn't require things that make you feel loved or make you feel special or make you feel seen, etc.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, realize that in a long-term relationship, it is a roller coaster. There is up and downs,
Yep.
and how you get through that first down is going to set the tone for the entire relationship if you all decide to stay together past
Mm-hmm.
that first down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. How I'm not gonna ask you the particulars, but how much of an impact was that first down for you and Jude?
Yikes. I don't know. Like, I'm so dramatic anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even love me for real. And he's like, first of all, calm down. Like, read the room. Obviously, I love you. Like, you see what's happening here. I'm like, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Um, it's a constant work in progress, bro, because every
Yeah.
down is different, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I was saying, if you two are evolving the way that you're supposed to individually, you're kind of dating a new person every 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have to learn how to navigate this new person.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like we keep treating people like the first the person we met in the beginning, and see we don't that evolution of how a person I'm sorry, how that person can evolve
Mm-hmm.
during the course of a relationship is something that is not emphasized as much as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that to be completely honest, I never even took into account. I never took that into account. As long as like I've been watching my parents, they've been married. I'm what 32, I'm 31, so they've been married 33 years.
Oh, that's beautiful. My parents didn't get married till I was like 9, but they had been together since I was
Yeah.
obviously, but they didn't get married till I was 9.
Yeah, but see that's the thing. Like
Ghetto.
I never like thought about that. Never picked up on that. Like during the course of my childhood, I'm thinking like, okay, you're this way, you're this way. That's just it. Go.
And not to get
And
too deep into your parents' relationship,
yeah,
but did you see them when they were going through their ups and downs, or it was just pretty much like they kept a certain face in front of you all, and then just kind of dealt with the stuff behind the scenes?
they dealt with stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't. That's I think that's what, uh, and I love my parents, but that's the one thing that when I become a parent, I'm going to I I I I want my kids to see the ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to experience that, not like put like the weight of whatever scenario onto them, but I want them to be able to know it's not all
Peachy
like
keen.
yeah, it's not all great. Like you might sometimes you might actually like really like
I don't like you right now. I love you to death.
yeah.
I'm not rocking with you right now. The first time Jude said that to me, I thought it was over. Like
Oh,
he
he actually said that.
like he was just like, yo, like I am not rocking with you right now. Like just plain like that. And I was like,
Yeah.
so what do you mean? You know, like I'm taking it deeper than what it needed to be, but just
Hmm.
at that time we just weren't seeing eye to eye. Like we were just not in a good place. Granted, it only lasted a day because I'm not gonna allow it to last any longer than that.
Yeah.
But you do have to understand that sometimes you're not like you get tired of this person you're seeing every day, and it's just what it is. But if
Yeah.
you love them enough, and if you have a solid foundation, you're gonna get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think people would just kind of like uh misconstrue what the definition of love actually is. Like
Ooh,
they they make it seem like you have like love is dependent upon your emotions and your perspective of a person. Like unconditional love is not the thing that's most so focused on. It's just the the pattern of your emotions and how you like the way you feel. Like
mm-hmm.
that's
And feelings are fleeting.
I'm gonna tell you what. In
Feelings
this exactly. In this last year, I learned that was the biggest thing that I needed to work on
come and
is not allow myself to move based upon my emotions or how I was feeling in that moment.
go. Mm-hmm.
Look at everything logically. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I feel this way right now, but take a step back,
The bigger picture.
look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Look at the bigger picture. Like I just at 31, I just learned that over the last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's something that like I feel I was kind of late on learning, but the more I'm paying attention to everyone, it's like that's what everyone's doing
Yeah.
because we get caught up in this whole thing of social media and like we're paying attention to everybody's highlights, and if our life is not this highlight, there's something wrong.
You think we're failing at the
We're
relationship.
failing. Yeah.
Are you still learning how to navigate that? Because I know for me, like I am not necess- I am a people pleaser, but I don't want to apply that to this. I was speaking too soon. But like if if me and Jude are having a disagreement or if he's not rocking with me, as he
Mhm.
likes to say, I like am like, okay, let me fix it. Like let me figure out what needs to be done because I don't like the tension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even to the point where I'm apologizing when deep down I don't feel that I should be apologizing for this.
Yo, that's a major part right there.
Did you?
Apologizing when you know you are not wrong. Like, and you're doing it because of what? Just for the,
Me personally,
yeah, you're doing that. Why?
just to like, because I don't want like I don't like the awkwardness of like we're not rocking with each other. So like we're slick, just like walking past each other without speaking. Like
Hmm.
we're just kind of on like a roommate thing. Again, I do not allow it, or we can't allow it, or it never lasts more than like a couple days.
Yeah.
But I just don't even like it because I'm a very on and off type person. That
Hmm.
gray area shit is very uncomfortable. So rather me be like, okay, I give up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, let me fix it. I'll just apologize and I'll take blame, or I just wanna not make you mad anymore. But it doesn't really fix what the issue at hand is. It just pacifies us for a while.
Right. But so like I feel like there are a lot of times when I'll do that now where I'm like I'm apologizing for XYZ. It doesn't have and this is in all areas of my life, all types of relationships.
Mhm.
If I know I'm wrong, I'll apologize off rip.
Yes.
But if I feel like I'm not wrong in terms of the core of the actual disagreement, I can at least apologize for whatever I did to contribute to the disagreement
Okay.
or the argument because I know like that's what that person's focusing on.
Hmm.
They're not focusing on the actual like issue at hand. They're focusing on what our argument is over and
Hmm.
how I pissed them off with XYZ. So I'll now I'm operating from a standpoint of okay, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Can I not operate from ego and pride and say I'm sorry?
That's hard. Well, I say
It's
sorry all the.
difficult as hell.
What I'm learning to do, which is pretty much what you just said, is um if I truly in my heart of hearts feel like I didn't do anything wrong, you just took it the wrong way, or we're just disagreeing on how we approach this particular situation, like don't be so quick to apologize and make it seem like I was at fault, but just simply acknowledge the fact that you feel a way about it.
That's I think that's what disarms that person.
Mm.
You acknowledging what you did to hurt them.
Yeah.
That's what disarms them. And it's like, okay, all right. So you're apologizing about XYZ. And then they get to a point of like, you were right. You see what I'm saying? Like,
And sometimes you just have to let it cook, bro. Like you just have to let it simmer. Cause I like it's been so many times where it seems so chaotic the first day. And
mhm,
after we just kind of sleep on it, one of us would be like, you know what? Like, yeah, like I was bugging.
yeah,
Or yeah, like I see your point.
yeah. But see, like to me, to bring it back to Kevin Samuels, that to me is like a high value person.
Mm,
Someone that knows, like, see, I don't base your value in terms of like
look,
what you earn, looks, yeah, all that outward monetary stuff. That doesn't determine value to me because I've known people with the looks, the money, like serious money that don't even
crash.
have great relationships.
Yeah,
They're scrapping to find friends, so,
yeah,
let alone like love interests. So
yeah.
to me, that is high value. That's what I place my value in. Is people that know like they're real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks and stuff like that. Yeah, like that's a part of it in terms of romantic relationships. Cool, but that's not the to me that's not the entire package. Like your money and looks are not it. That's not it. That's
And
not
that
it.
can change. Like you can change your appearance. You can make more money. You can lose money, but at core, your character
Mm-hmm.
is probably not going to change unless you really put in the work to want to change certain bad character traits.
Right. And the character of person is what is really going to make you want to stay. That the character of the person is really going to make you want to work on the relationship and the issues in the relationship. The
Right.
character of a person is what's like, okay, you know what? They're messed up in certain areas, but they're willing to work on XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
That's character. That's valuable. That's what like I think is what is at the end of the day the one of the biggest things you can look for in a person as a partner, because like if I know that you're willing to admit fault and say, you know what, I'm willing to change and work on these things because I know this is what's great for us. I know I can trust you XYZ. I can trust you in certain in other areas because you're honest. You know what works and what doesn't work. You know how to move, how not to move. So that means that if we're going to do business together, I can't be in a relationship with someone and they don't have high character and then they expect us to do like investments. Why would I invest with someone
Yeah.
that I can't trust?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't work.
Would you want to go in business with your partner, or like how they say like business and pleasure shouldn't mix?
I think if it's a shared interest,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Because I know at the end of the day we're gonna put our 100 in. If I like I'm not into purses.
You don't have a merce?
Believe it or not, I really don't. But I'm not into them, right? So that's not a business that I would like go into as like a working partner. I
Mhm.
would go into it as an investor,
Yeah.
knowing you know what you're doing. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But as someone that is gonna push and work this with you, nah, I can do the photography.
Right.
I can play
I'm
my
gonna play
role.
my role and what makes sense to me.
I can
Yes.
play my role to help
Never,
you out.
never force somebody into position.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you force someone into a specific position, they're not fit for that, it's gonna go haywire. There's
Resentment.
nothing.
You're not gonna like that they're not putting in the same amount of energy you're putting in. It's
Yep.
gonna be a hot mess.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
learn
Yep.
that.
Yep. So you just gotta know what your role is. And knowing your role, know like having that high character, to me, that's high value.
And knowing your role kind of comes back to the whole submissive question that we were
Hmm.
discussing. Like submission, like you said, I do feel has a negative connotation to it and is for some reason only been applied towards women and they need to know when to submit. But if you're in a real healthy relationship, it should go both ways because all submission really means is you know how to play your role. If your partner is better in this, let them call the plays and you just kind of hop in whenever you need to hop in.
Yeah, because if I know my partner is better with uh money and I'm not great at money,
Hmm.
like I am great, but I'm saying just as an example, if I'm not great, yeah, I wouldn't put it out there. But
Me personally, I'm great with money.
I'm excellent. I know how to stretch money very well. But if I'm not, if that's not something that I'm really good at doing, and that's she's amazing at it, why would I not allow her to lead me in that area?
Right,
Why not?
right.
Why not? That makes us better. That makes us
And that doesn't
better.
make you less than because you're allowing your partner to do what they're good at. If
Yes.
anything, that's smart as hell.
Yes. Because it guess what? It doesn't create strife.
Hmm.
It doesn't create friction. My I'm not even sure if I've said this to you or even on the show. My goal for the rest of my life is to do whatever I can do to either maintain or increase my peace.
Yeah.
That's it. That is it. I'm not if I don't and that's for everything. That's within business, that's within relationships, that's everything.
Right.
Everything. I like if I know I'm going to be able to get more peace or at least maintain it, I'm rocking with it. If I
Hmm.
know it's gonna, hurt me in that area where I'm not sleeping or whatever, yeah, can't do it. I've turned money down because of that. I like
So
legit.
the power to turn
I
down a
turned money down.
bag is like ultimate control over your happiness and peace in your life ultimately because a lot of people are not going to turn down a bag.
No.
They'll deal with the chaos and with the stress because they want the bag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't do it. I can't
Yeah,
do it. I legit just this past week turned some money down because of that.
yeah.
The person I like was asking me to do a music video, and I'm just like, nah.
I foresee some bullshit coming.
Yep.
I'm just gonna.
Yep. So I priced them out. I told them a price that I knew they were not going to pay.
That's a smart way to do it. Like versus just saying nah.
Yeah.
Just give them a ridiculous amount that you know
But
that they're gonna.
see, it also wasn't a ridiculous amount.
Oh damn, that's even worse.
Yeah, they're cheap. So you just put like an extra zero. Yeah.
$10, but put like the dot 00 at the
Yeah.
end versus just a dollar sign 10. Hey, that's a lot of zeros. I can't do it. All right. We shouldn't be doing business in the first place.
Right. Right. Yep. Yep. Mm. Well, is that
I
it?
feel I feel 10 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Not that I was going through anything specific, but it's nice to talk about relationships and what's to do and what not to do.
It's always a good thing.
All
Hopefully we
right,
save
Derek,
some
give them
relationships.
all of our
Yes.
hopefully. But
Yes.
oh, disclaimer: we aren't therapists.
Oh,
We
hell
aren't
no.
experts. We don't know shit about shit. So like, don't listen to us. But like,
Yeah.
maybe if it makes sense,
If you think it might work for you, apply it. If not,
take
hey,
whatever tidbits work for you.
either way, we're gonna sleep. We will sleep at night.
Finally, yeah. Like dreams and
Ex-
everything.
exactly. But no, so Janine, your social media, it throws me off sometimes. But is Twitter
Nina
is
Soul.
Nina Soul,
Nina Soul is Instagram, two eyes
Instagram.
in the Nina, Soul SOL. Links to everything is in Nina Soul's bio. I hate saying that, but it's the truth. Links are in the bio.
Link in the bio. Yeah, go for it. And as I said earlier, you can find me at Derrick_OTS. That's DERRICK. Or really just don't even follow me if you want to pick one or two, just pick OTS. Follow the brand OTS at OTS guys on all social media platforms. www.otsguys.com. You can find out what we're doing on there, latest videos, latest articles. We should be coming out with some more stuff to be put on there pretty soon. So just keep an eye out on that. And as Janine said, or as Claudette said, I should say, um, link in bio. Go to the OTS guys Instagram. Go at OTS guys on Instagram. Click on the link to all of our stuff's on there, the website, podcast updates, the newest podcast updates, I should say. And, just go from there and check us out. Let us know what you think.
Yes. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because you're watching us anyway.
Might as well,
Might as
right?
well subscribe and know when we're posting new stuff because we're
Yeah.
amazing. So
And
definitely.
we can give Kevin Samuels a run for his money. Hey, Kevin, if you watch this, I would love to invite you to the show.
Like,
Um,
he's
eh,
gonna tear us apart, but I'm
no,
just
he
gonna.
won't. No, he won't. No, he won't. No, he won't. I'm a high value man. You're a high value woman. We won't
What
get.
size are you? Well, I'm working on losing 20 pounds currently, and then he's just gonna go off. But whatever.
But I have a couple of things I'd pick at him to if you were to do that. But Kevin, you are welcome to come on the show, talk to us, and discuss what you think we are wrong, where you think we're wrong in. Because we might be wrong. I'm fine with being wrong,
Right.
as said, but I don't. We're completely correct. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.